Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel for another very interesting beer review. Now I'm having a beer from the Kloster brewery Andechs. And the reason for why I'm choosing a beer from this brewery at this moment when I'm uploading beers with a little bit different style compared to the normal big German styles is that this brewery is really special. It's a monastery brewery, which means that the beers are being brewed in a very old monastery by monks. There's a lot of history about this one. It's not very common nowadays that beers still are being brewed in monasteries. Often it started up with brewing in monasteries, but in many cases it has been moved over to bigger breweries and so on, even though the breweries still are using the maybe monastery's name and so on. But in this case it's a monastery brewery, and it's quite known brewery as well. It has been growing very much, and maybe it's the biggest of the old style monastery breweries in Germany. And that makes it very interesting. The beer I'm having is, they're having quite many beers, so it's a typical German styles of beers that they're having, but I've been choosing to review their Helles beer. You can see it's Vollbier Hell, which means typical Helles style, which is the normal pale lager. Not as much hops as the Pils, but the basic pale lager beer. That's a Helles. And it comes from Bavaria, of course, as many other beers. And yeah, I'll start with showing you the front label here of the monastery. Kloster Andechs, it says on the front label, which means monastery Andechs. It's the same word for that in Swedish, which is my home language. Andechser Vollbier Hell. Yeah, here's the link to the website also, which I will link to in the description box below, as always. I will also link to a YouTube video which I found, which shows the brewing process in this monastery. That was very interesting to see, actually, that it's monks who are having this brewery. Kloster brewery Andechs, in Andechs, of course. 4.8 ABV. Vollbier Hell. Genuss für Lieb und Seele. Yeah, means something like good for body and soul, I think. My German is not so good, but I think it might be something like that. Site 1455. Gebraut in der Klosterbrauerei Andechs. You can see it yourself. Yeah, I also think that it's very traditional label and so on. It's show you the cap also. I have it right there. It's looking like this, the different beer types that they're having. Only the color is different. But over to a little bit about this very interesting brewery. Andechs Benedictine Monastery is located on the holy mountain at Ammersee outside Munich. Here they have taken care of visiting pilgrims since 1455 and offer self-care as well as social projects in nearby villages. But not least, they brew fantastic beers according to a long craft tradition. The monastery and the monastery brewery are run by 18 monks and an abbot who, thanks to the beer, is able to finance and maintain the monastic life with their social commitments. In addition, the monks live within the monastic walls, and the beer brewing include a strict sustainability philosophy. This makes it very unique in my opinion, and I'm a huge fan of these monastery breweries because it gives really a really old feeling, which it's something that I really like. I'm gonna continue with reading a little bit more about the brewery. Since 1455, beer has been brewed in the small town of Andechs in Land in Upper Bavaria. Then Duke Albrecht III of Bavaria opened a Benedictine monastery on a mountain in Andechs with a view of the beautiful lake Ammersee. The designation Klosterbräu, which means monastery brewery, shows the connection between the abbey and the brewery. Beer was brewed in the monastery itself until 1972, when a modern brewery was built at the foot of the mountain. Since then, the brewery has received a huge boost and not only provides the monastery, but it also is the region's largest employer. The brewery range includes 7 beers, all of which can be tasted from the barrels in Bräustübel, the brewery's own beer cabin, or in the Klostergasthof, the monastery's inn that actually is even older than the monastery. The entire range is also available in bottled versions. For example, they produce a Bergbock Hell, which is a typical pale bock beer with high creamy foam and a clear floral herb-like aroma with citrus tones and a full, rich and grainy texture. The taste is balanced between sweet, fruity malt and hops bitterness. The high alcohol content gives a peppery finish and a pleasant aftertaste. Andechser Abbey Brewery also produces a dark and pale lager, a fermented dark wheat beer, a Doppelbock Dunkel, and a Spezialhell, which is a classic Oktoberfest type. But this is the normal Helles, pale lager beer. And I'm gonna go over to the tasting part, I think. So let's open it up, this amazing beer. And pour it up. There you have it. Really pale, pale color of it, I think. It's nice, pale yellow, easy to see through, many small bubbles, like a typical Helles, white head. Yeah, this is gonna be good. I think I really like Helles. As I said, it's a little bit milder in taste comparing to a Pils. Not that much hops as a Pils. But yeah, that's it's a good style, really classical for Germany. The Bavarian Helles. Refreshing. Feel the balance between the malts and the hops. Yeah, really great. So refreshing in the aromas. Absolutely feels that it's a high quality beer, and the ingredients and everything. I'm gonna speak also about the Helles style later. I haven't prepared a text about that for the moment, but I'm gonna speak about that later in another video. Yeah, let's give it a taste. Prost! amazing. Absolutely great. Great Helles, Bavarian style Helles. Mild, rich at the same time. The hops taste is there, the malt taste is there. Nice quality. Really easy, soft to drink. This is a great beer and a fantastic brewery. Something you should definitely try. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. For me, I must say that this is a great brewery and great beers, all of them. Try this one, yeah, I hope you can find it somewhere because it's a fantastic Helles beer. And yeah, it's very impressive also with this specific monastery brewery, as I've been mentioning before. Yeah, it's just a fantastic beer. You know, the craftsmanship behind it, the history. If you've been to Bavaria or seen pictures of it, I've been to Bavaria once. You know the amazing nature there is, and that's something that I think of when I drink beers from that region. It really gives that that feeling of it, and that's something very nice for me. Easy to drink. I know there's lots of Helles beers out there, but this one stands out, I would say, because it has this balance, perfect between all the ingredients, makes it really classical, really easy to drink, really easy to appreciate. For me, I must give all cred to Andechs Kloster. Wow, it's amazing that they're still doing the same thing, not making any strange beer types or strange labels. It's just the same. Big thumbs up to the monks who are brewing these great beers. It's really appreciated by many, and they really deserve to have this great reputation that they've got, because the beers are amazing. Yeah, that's it. I have, as I always say, big plans for the future. I hope you continue to follow my channel, and stay tuned for everything that will be coming up in the next videos.